So in 2015, I wrote a book called Maximize. The idea behind the book can change your business overnight and forever. The title is Maximize 29 Strategies to Turbocharge Your Business with the Power of the Internet. Do not buy it because it's outdated right now. I wrote it in 2015. The reason why I want to tell you about the book is because it's made me a lot of money, but not for the reasons that you think. So let's dive into this. I was at the time running an agency, digital marketing agency, doing a lot of advertising for clients, brands, businesses, local businesses. You know, it's when you run a client-facing business, the main challenge initially is to actually get the clients, right? So now it's much easier because there's a lot of good content and good courses about getting clients. But at the time, almost 10 years ago, it was much tougher. And so I went full-time into entrepreneurship in 2007 after retiring from pro tennis. And so it wasn't new for me. Getting clients wasn't new for me, but getting local businesses was always interesting, always a challenge, because in 2015, even though the internet was more commonly accepted than when I started out in 2002 or 2003 selling ebooks online on ClickBank. This is over 20 years ago. When you sold anything online, actually I started selling on eBay in the year 2000. Whenever you sold anything online in the early 2000s, people would say that you're a scammer, which was amazing. And now everyone's asking me to, how to sell and make money online, which is, it's amazing how the world can change in only 20 years, right? And so in 2007, when I retired from tennis, I started selling online full time. And then in 2015 with this book, it really changed the way that we approached the initial client prospecting phase. So the prospecting phase to then get a business to buy agency services from my agency. So what did we do? Well, first of all, the book is pretty thick, right? It's a 300-page book. Again, like I said, I'm not here to promote the book. Don't buy it. I don't even know if you can buy it on Amazon, simply because it's an old book. It's outdated. It literally covers social media platforms that don't exist anymore. But what's really interesting about this book is it's a very thick book, right? You can see it. It's a thick book, and it has what's called the thud factor, right? It's not a booklet. It's not a testimonial. It's not a brochure. It's a real book, a real effing book. And so that was the whole idea behind writing the book. So in it, this is basically the ideal book for the ideal customer that we were going after with the agency. And that's the main thing I want to give you in this video is when you're competing, whatever the market you're selling to, when you're competing with, and you're inevitably competing with someone directly or indirectly, you need to understand that you need to have something more than the competition to stand out, right? And so at the time, people were starting to experiment. So agency owners were starting to experiment with video, right? This was, again, 10 years ago. Prospecting was done either through, many different ways, but cold calling, so reaching out to the business directly, or sending a video, which usually was like a 2-minute video to introduce yourself, and then review the website, the business's website, and then critique it a bit, and then say, hey, if you want more information on how we can help you, just book a call. Here's the number. Give us a call. We will talk and see if we can help. And so what I noticed at the time is very few agencies actually sold a book, and that's what gave me the idea, because ultimately in business, you want to be different, right? Yes, you can be first. Yes, you can be better. But if you can be different, it changes the whole conversation. And so when we were competing at the time with, pretty big brands, globally known brands, right? When I met either CMOs or CEOs and I could give them a physical book, I knew they would never read the book anyway. That's the whole point. I wasn't expecting anyone to read the book. I didn't even care if they read the book. I just wanted them to touch the book, feel the book, and then for it to sit in their car or to sit at their office, someone else would ask about the book. And so I knew no one would read the book. And it's an amazing book. I give sales scripts, emails, templates, literally things to copy, paste, and copy. You can actually make money just using things in the book. But the whole point of the book was to stand out. Because at the time, no one, or at least no one that we researched, had written a book for the sole purpose of getting agency clients. Others were doing cold calling, like I said. They were doing email outreach, cold email, DMs. They were doing, like I said, there was video reviews. And it worked, right? But no one was giving CEOs a book. And so something else that it does, or did at the time, was put us, right? We were seeking the business. We wanted the business. We wanted to get, and these were overall pretty, at the time, pretty large business deals, right? Usually around 6 figures. We sold a website up to 250K, so 250,000. So again, these were not $2,000 a month clients. If we print a book and we go and we actually have a meeting in person with these potential clients and we give them a book, it puts me at the same level as the CEO of the other company, because most likely the CEO of the other company has not written a book. Usually CEOs have a pretty big ego, right? That's just how we are, which is fine. And a lot of people who've achieved things in life, most of them have a desire to share and give back to the world, or to share their memoirs, or bring value and contribute. And a book is a great way to do it. Having written a book and giving a book to another CEO establishes in that relationship that I have a book and you don't. And so it did a lot of things. So the ultimate, what I want to give you in this video is that ultimately this book was not a book, it was a business card. The lesson here is whatever business you have, whatever the business you're trying to grow, think of things where you can be the only one to have the advantage. In my world, with my competition, I was the only CEO, the only agency CEO at the time with a physical book, especially a 300-page book. This was the business card. This was done solely, yes, of course, it's great to say that I have a book and that I'm an author. It's a great book, but this was done initially to get clients, right? And since then, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people have written books to get clients, but this is, at the time, it was one of the only ones in the industry to have written a book to get agency clients in that market. So keep in mind, you can try to be better, you can try to be different, you can try to be more persuasive, but if you come in with something that no one else has, right? Something tangible, especially in a world that's very digital, it will change the way you're perceived. And ultimately, when you change the way you're perceived, when you're looking for business, because ultimately, let's not kid ourselves, if you have an agency or you want clients, if you want to get the deal, get the mandate, the contract, it's always good to have something that your competition doesn't. Research the competition and then create something, provide something, give prospective clients something that others don't. And you'd be amazed today, shooting this video, it's mid-2023, you'd be amazed at how many people don't have a physical book and how much a physical book can validate and really give real perceived value and real perceived credibility to someone once you actually hold something tangible. The book is a giant business card. Giving this to the CEO was just a way for him to hold it. We never sent any digital copies. We wanted to meet them or to ship them this book. And I knew full well they would never read it. I didn't care if they read it. Some of them read it, but ultimately this was different at the time and we made a lot of money with this. So think of things you can apply, think of ways you can differentiate yourself from the competition. Again, you can write a book if no one else in your industry has a book out. Just the mere fact of having a book will set you apart from everyone else. That's it for this video. Drop a comment below. Tell me how you are going to differentiate yourself, and I'll talk to you in the next video.